Hello, everyone. How was your first lesson on denial and powerlessness? What have you realized as a life coach when you hear our participants share their answer? Did you learn something new? In my role as a Glorious Hope life coach, I always discover something new about myself whenever I hear participants share their answer. God is truly amazing in how He continually teaches us and unravels the layers of unresolved issues that are hidden within us as we serve Him in this ministry. This week, we invite you to explore the wonderful concept of family through a biblical perspective. God lovingly created the family and beautifully demonstrated how it can thrive. When He created the first man, He did so in His own image and likeness, and gently hinting that He was beginning a family of His own. Let me read to you Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 to 28. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping things that creeps on the earth." So God created man in His own image. In the image of God, He created him. And He created him male and female. He created them. Then God blessed them, and God said, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth." From the very beginning of creation, God envisioned a beautiful family made up of a man and a woman, so they could multiply and lovingly care for all that He has made. Take a moment to notice what God said and let them have. Let them have. He was talking about families. He provides a nurturing and balanced environment where the family He formed can flourish and grow with His guidance and care. Sadly, because of sin, they were eventually sent away from the special place where God had placed them. He said, "Behold, the man has become like one of us in knowing good and evil. Now lest he reach out his hand and take also the tree of life and eat and live forever." Therefore the Lord God sent him out of the garden. Sin affects us all by distorting how we understand aligning with God. Though He created us in His image, sin fractured our beings. We often seek wholeness or unity independently of God, which causes us to deny our powerlessness and believe we are like God, knowing good and evil. This leads to habits that temporarily create unity, but ultimately highlight our incompleteness. That's why God expelled Adam and Eve from Eden. They could not remain in misery forever, even with their knowledge. They still seek fulfillment in their desires, much like us when we try to fill the void in our hearts or love tanks. God designed an ideal family setting where all needs are satisfied and inner well-being is nurtured. As beings made in His image and likeness, though He has no physical form, we reflect His essence. Consequently, He fully comprehends what is necessary. God created the place for the first family, offering food, shelter, and safety. He said, I've given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food, and to very best for and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I've given every green plant for food. And God saw everything that He has made, and behold, it was very good. It's clear that He created man on the sixth day, ensuring everything we needed was already in place. As, as He declared, it was very good. By the end of that day, creation was complete, flawless, and perfectly harmonious, functioning exactly as it was meant to, without sin. The moment marked the perfection of all things, including humanity, and the natural order was beautifully established. Since we were created in His image and likeness, God knows what we need and made sure that our desires for stable, predictable environment and freedom from anxiety and chaos is met. That's why He carefully designed the place He created for us to live, which is the Garden of Eden, the, to give us the comfort and predictability, order, and control. In every family, God recognized how important the psychological need for stability is. Our natural longing for a predictable and safe life includes protection from danger, financial stability, and good health. Next, God did not design man to be alone. He said it's not good that man should be alone. He made sure that man develop a caring understand of connection. God asked Adam to name the animals before introducing Eve, to gently show Adam his loneliness, highlight that there was no suitable companion among the animals, and remind him of his role as steward over creation. This thought process helped reveal man's need for a helper comparable to him, and allowed Adam to see Eve's special worth when she was created. That's the reason he said, this at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. As naturally social beings, we're meant to enjoy relationship, companionship, and community. We're not designed for isolation, but to thrive through meaningful connection, emphasizing the role of a caring partner in sharing life, purpose, and balance. God created us with relational needs that are fulfilled through deep bonds with others. This need for connection should be cultivated in healthy family environment. Ultimately, Genesis reminds us that God made humans for community, aiming for deep, meaningful relationship to help prevent the loneliness caused by isolation. God desires families to thrive in a warm and supportive environment where everyone can flourish and build their competence. That's why, as a caring paternal figure to Adam, he asked him to name the animals, giving him a meaningful role that encouraged learning and discovery. This verse in Genesis chapter 2, 19 to 20, beautifully shows how God entrusted Adam with responsibility, authority, and creative stewardship, highlighting that Adam was crafted not only with a physical life, but also with remarkable intelligence, wisdom, and understanding of his environment. Naming animals is not an easy task. As a result, Adam developed a sense of self-respect, recognition, and approval, laying a strong foundation for his self-esteem, which was grounded in his knowledge and competence. Finally, just as a caring father would, God wishes for Adam to recognize his full potential in his talents and find true self-fulfillment. It's much like any loving family, providing a warm, nurturing environment that encourages everyone to grow and thrive. It also fulfills the desire for achievement. God placing Adam in the Garden of Eden to work and keep it beautifully illustrates how Adam can find the fulfillment in his relationship with God through partnership. The garden reminds us that we are meant to find our greatest happiness through meaningful stewardship focused work that honors God and helps the world flourish. God showed us the kind of family environment that includes the social, emotional, and physical aspects of life at home, including relationship, communication, and values that help shape our behavior and personality. The family is our primary socializer, having a significant impact on how we develop cognitively and emotionally. A positive family setting is one filled with unity, emotional support, while a negative or dysfunctional one may be full of frequent conflicts, little cohesion, and poor communication. I hope you were blessed by today's devotion, and may God bless you. May God bless your upcoming session with your participants, and may you be a blessing to them. Thank you, and see you again next week.